Gonna do a little bit of social media here. Reporting on real media. It's reporting social media. Why? Because we are all the media now, baby. Welcome to the superpilotish channel, my media station. And my name is Graham Wilson. And today, in my basement, I'm going to be reporting to you a little bit of good news. We're always going to start off with good news from now on. So, some good news from Ashley J. DeMilla. At Fox News, and I'm going to report that. Then we're going to take a look at my new guitar. I'll tell you the difference between a Gibson SG and an Epiphone SG guitar. I won't be playing it because you don't want to hear that, but I got to take off my plastic on my pick guard anyways, so I'll just kind of talk about it while I'm taking care of that chore. I do that sometimes. I can do whatever I want because I am the media. Okay, so yeah, I was trying to think. This is probably show number 3 where I'm going to try to start off with some news and then do whatever I want. I think I might keep it more specific to aviation news. So I was taking a look at this article. It was on Fox News on their website, and it was from a couple days ago. It's hard to get like up-to-date, really good news, but this is good news. Now the headline was flight passengers' ritual of touching airplane before boarding sparks mixed feelings among travelers. Like I said, that was from Ashley J. DeMilla, and I'll read a little bit and do a little commentary. So here we go. With the holiday season in full swing, many are traveling by air to spend special days with their loved ones. While many Americans are comfortable flying, some might get nervous, which is why some passengers tap a plane's exterior prior to boarding. I'd kind of seen that floating around on Twitter a little bit. I guess it's a thing. Gary Leff, a Virginia-based travel industry expert. See, he's a travel industry expert. So am I, because I'm the media. Okay, anyways. And author of the blog, View from the Wing, told Fox News Digital he has seen this common ritual. They tap the logo on the airline, the logo of the airline on the side of the plane before they board the aircraft. In one variation, people might kiss their fingers. Then, by touching the logo, they are kissing the plane, said Leff. Leff says it helps people feel like they have some control over the aircraft rather than leaving fate in the hands of the plane and pilots. Well, I don't know. Being a pilot myself, I'd kind of like to be in control, but it also anthropomorphizes the aircraft the way you might greet a pet, and you're connecting in a small way to the feat that's about to be performed by moving you through the sky at speeds over 500 miles per hour, said Leff. And this other dude, Brian Morris, creator of Flight Deck, Fear of Flying flashcards, I guess little flashcards or something you can buy, struggled with aerophobia, the fear of flying on airplanes. Morris of Utah told Fox News Digital via email he had participated in the ritual. It was a habit that brought me a sense of comfort, as if I was establishing a connection with the plane and asking for its protection. Okay. And it's funny how our minds work. I thought that this little act somehow warded off danger, even though deep down I knew it was just superstition. Okay, aerophobia is a common fear of flying that affects more than 25 million Americans, according to Cleveland Clinic, whatever that is. Okay, and it kind of went on here, and Ashley was talking about, they quoted a bunch of stuff off of TikTok. So there we go. Fox News is quoting TikTok. I'm not going to really go over the whole thing. I do have a link to the article in the description below here, and near the end here, they say that Morris, this other expert dude, said there are other common rituals such as lifting feet while flying. Never heard of that one. Praying. I've heard of that one. Tapping overhead bins when landing, too. Okay, some have lucky clothing they wear. For example, lucky socks. Some play the same lucky song over and over during the flight in their noise-canceling headphones. I was guilty of this one, Morris added. So there we go. Now, commentary on that, because, well, I don't know. I don't really have any. I've never really heard about that until just recently, about tapping the plane or touching the plane before getting on it. But, I don't know, my pre-flight ritual is checking the fuel and checking the oil and making sure that there's no ice on the wings and making sure there's enough brake pads on the brakes. But we call that a pre-flight inspection for pilots. And I just fly little airplanes, so you do a pre-flight inspection for big planes too. But yeah, hey, I'm all for all the superstition you want on your airplanes. Oh, hey, Shecky. Yeah, I'm all for superstition if it's like good superstition, like if it makes you calm by touching the side of an airplane by going flying, go for it, man. Whatever works. And like the only thing I'm really kind of superstitious about is whenever I talk about riding my motorcycle, I got to knock on wood. So like whenever I say, "Oh, I've never had a motorcycle accident," knock on wood. That's the only thing I'm superstitious about, and I'm gonna keep doing it because I haven't had an accident yet. Knock on wood. So obviously it's working, right? So there we go. It's working for me. I'm going to keep doing it. So there we go. Thank you, Ashley from Fox News, for that article. Okay. Now let's get to a little bit of guitar stuff here because I got, usually, oh, I can't think of a topic or something like that. And then I do like some chore here that I got to do. So I got this I picked up this new guitar yesterday and I'm going to show it to you. And I'm going to take the plastic off the pick guard. We'll move the old Bitcoin. Haven't found any Bitcoin yet with that, but we'll move the miner over here. And my little weird alien. That guy's kind of growing on me. I'll put him over here. All right, so I might have to do some camera change here, and I'm going to show you the guitar. Now, over here, way off in the corner, that's an Epiphone SG. I had that for about a couple years, and I used to have an acoustic over there, if you remember. That one got moved up, and I'm playing musical guitars here. Well, musical chairs, musical guitars. I guess they're all musical, right? Anyways, that one went in another room because I never really played the acoustic too much. That one's going on as a backup. That's my Epiphone SG, and I'll talk about the differences between the Epiphone and the Gibson SG. So let's take a look. Gonna move my computer. Don't get sick with all the jiggling here. I want to be able to get it so. Move the microphone out of the way. I want to get it so you can kind of take a look. I'll probably set it up over here and you can see what's going on. Move my mouse out of the way. All right, let's see how this works. Okay, got a little towel here to, I don't know, don't want to scratch up my new guitar. And we'll get this guy out here. All right. I got this guitar case with my Epiphone SG, and my Gibson fits in here too. So I'm just gonna open this guy up. There we go. Oh, still got the guitar strap on there too. All right, close that up. All right, here we go. One Gibson. There we go. Here we go. This is my new Gibson SG. It is a Cardinal Burst paint job, so it's kind of red there, black on the back. And the reason I got this color was because I couldn't decide between the black one and the red one for the Gibson SG, so I got a red and a black one. So red is my favorite color. So, okay, now I'm going to take off some plastic here. I don't know if you can see that. Oh, that'll work. Yeah, this should work out okay. Yeah, so whenever you get a new guitar, it's I got my little screw leveler over here underneath my laptop to keep it even. But well, let's just do what we can do here. Okay, I need a first thing you got to do. I did another video on this on another guitar I had, and isn't that magical that I just happen to have in my toolbox the exact right size for these screws here? Yeah, it's almost like I planned it. Okay, fake news. Okay, so what I'm going to do, wow. I wonder if I should take, all right, well, never did it on a Gibson before. I'm going to loosen off the strings. Okay. Okay, and then. And I'm plucking those notes because I don't want to be tightening up and then snap one. So what you got to do, if you're going to take the plastic off the pick guard here, you got to loosen off the screws that are on it. You can kind of see. So I'm going to loosen them off exactly one turn. And that way I put them back one turn and everything's all set up, because I'll have to loosen off the pickups here too. So let's do one turn here. See if I can get that right. One. Okay, and I'm just kind of watching, like that says Mastercraft. That's the brand of screwdriver. So I'm just watching that go around till it comes back in the same place. There. Okay. One. I want to make sure I can see that. Okay, so the difference is between the Epiphone SG and the Gibson SG is like I only played it a couple times yesterday and today, and what I did notice was, okay, like if you ever watch any YouTube videos, they're going to be playing it, and on the videos I never noticed any difference really in the sound. If you're playing it, like the sound isn't, I don't think it can get picked up properly with a microphone, but the sound is different. It's hard to describe other than like in very vague musical tone or terminology. Like it sounds brighter. Like, okay, my Epiphone over there, it seemed like everything that you're playing has like it's kind of like a very mid-range sound where it's like, okay, it sounds kind of mushed together, whereas you find on the lower notes and the higher notes on the more expensive Gibson SG, it seems to be like kind of the same volume all the way across from the lower notes to the higher notes, whereas on the Epiphone, now I don't know if it's just my strings are dirtier on that one or the way it's set up or something, but it seems like it's just more mid-range. The lower notes aren't as loud and the higher notes aren't as loud. So as far as like across the whole not spectrum, but range of notes that you're going to play, the more expensive guitar, yeah, it does sound better. The volume is more uniform, we'll put it that way. The other thing about it is, okay, if you look over here, this little selector here. Okay, so this little selector on the Epiphone SG, that's the cheaper one, it actually kind of sticks out further. This one here is like in a bit more. So I don't know what's what. Like probably the one on this guitar is more expensive. Maybe it's more durable. It does feel a little bit more solid. So yeah, so I think it would be so that doesn't stick out as much. I guess less chance of like smacking it, breaking it, or something like that. The other thing, I think I got this all. Oh geez, did I do that? Yeah, I think I got everything all backed off now. The other thing too was the tuning pegs or your machine heads or whatever you want to call them. These guys here that tune it up. These are actually a brand name called Grover. They're Grover pegs. I don't know if I can show you that. Yeah, I don't know if you'll be able to see that. Anyways, those are Grover pegs. Might be able to read Grover on there. Grover, Cookie Monster, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, so those pegs are, I find them to be on the more expensive SG. They seem to be a little tighter. Like it just seems like a higher quality. Okay, let's see if I can get this off here. I'm gonna start pulling off some plastic. I don't want to get. I might have to get like a knife out here for something. But I don't want to scratch this too much. So there we go. We're doing it live. I got it. I think once I get it rolling, it should be a piece of cake. That's the way it was on the fender I did before. Okay. All right, here we go. It should just peel right off. Can you see that peeling off? Oh, there we go. You can hear it. And this one, that came off nicely on my screws that I loosened off. Okay, you know what? And underneath these strings, I might just rip it. Oh, there we go. Ooh. Well, thanks for indulging me in doing my chores here today. It looks like most of that plastic's kind of coming off. It's pretty sticky. I was kind of hoping this would be like an absolutely perfect, easy thing to do, but okay, that ripped off there. Anyways, maybe I'll get like a pencil or something. See, pencils are pretty soft. I don't think I'll be breaking anything with that. So that might help me take it off underneath the strings where it's kind of tight here by the bridge. Can we get that? Maybe. Patience, young grasshopper. Okay, you know what? Oh, is that going to come off? Okay. Oh, I can kind of peel it over here. Yeah, I think the pencil might be a winner on this one. Okay, I'm going to rip that right off. Okay, what else can I tell you different with these guys? I would say, oh yeah, I was just going to kind of tell you that guitars are like kind of like tools or something, I find. Oh, there you go. Kind of fill that up in there. Oh, I'm liking this pencil technique. Really liking it. There we go. Cool. All right, and yeah, so if you're going to buy a tool, I always say, after being a machinist for many years and spending, I don't know, probably thousands of dollars on tools, it's like generally my rule on tools is if you get the absolute cheapest tool, you will be disappointed all the time. If you get basically the best that you can afford, which is what I always recommend. Well, it's coming off nice. Then, you're usually doing okay if you do something mid-range, best you can afford. Oh, that came off nice. Ooh, all right. And then, but if you're getting the high-end thing like this is it's I guess not the most expensive Gibson SG you can buy, but it's made in the United States, so you got your higher labor costs and stuff, and it's it's good. But usually what you'll find with your tools is that you're you kind of get what you pay for, but there's kind of like a law of diminishing returns with your tools. So if you, geez, what am I going to do here? Can I get this up? Oh, I know what I'll do. I'll go kind of string by string and peel it off that way. Yeah. So if you get, cheap tools don't work. Mid-range tools are probably okay. But then when you go into something like, I'll say for this guitar, I would say the way that it plays, oh, nice, that came off. I would say, if I had to put a number on it, how much better does this play than my other one? 5 to 10% better. I don't think my skill has gotten that good, but it just sounds like, I would say give it a 5 to 10% better. But it costs probably about 3 times as much as the other one. So that's the thing when you get on the really high-end tools or instruments or whatever, you can pay a lot more for just a little bit more return. Like a good example of that is over here with my vernier caliper here. This is a Starrett. Some people call it Starrett, but I call it a Starrett tool. That's kind of like that's the best tool you can possibly get for measuring, measuring things. Oh, how big is that? That's 195 thousandths of an inch. So it's like, okay, this guy here cost me a ton, but I mean, I bought one of these things. This was a 12-inch vernier caliper. I bought a 12-inch. It was for $20. I dropped it once on the first day I owned it. Dropped it once. Had to throw it in the garbage. That was $20. This one here at the time I bought it was probably about 350. So I don't know, this thing here now, what would it be now? Probably $400 for this thing. But this one has been dropped in coolant, dropped in metal chips, works absolutely perfect. And then if I wanted to get something like pretty good, it would be like half the price and it'd still be pretty good, but double the price. Like, this thing has never let me down. So, and I've had that for years now. And then, so, oh, hey, Safety Doc's here too. Hi, David. Yeah, so, oh, you know what? While I got that out, after I put it away, while I got it out, I did want to measure. There's another difference between the SG and the Epiphone, or the Epiphone SG and the Gibson SG here. And it was the shape of the neck. So if I'm not mistaken, I haven't done it. You'll see the science here. I think the neck on this one is kind of more of a, like a D shape, U shape kind of thing, like that. Whereas on the Epiphone, it's kind of like a flatter. So when you wrap like kind of a flatter C shape, I guess they call it, rather than a D shape. And I could probably measure that with this guy here. So I'm going to do that because I know I'll do that eventually one day, because I'll be like, is it different? It seems to feel different, but I haven't actually. So I'll measure it at, I could measure it at the nut. Maybe I'll measure it at the first fret over the strings and just see what it is. Okay. Something like that. Look. Now these are loosened off strings too. So we'll see if I can get my machinist feel on here. Okay. 10, what was that? Ah, crap. About 910 thou. Okay. So we'll see. If the radius is smaller on the other one, should be less than that. Okay. Hang tight. I'll be back with the official measurement at the first fret. Oh. Let's try it here. Huh. You know what? I might just be imagining things. You know what? I think I am imagining things. It's about the same back and forth, but, and I did measure it with this guy here with my caliper. I measured the width of it at the nut. No, well, you can't really see it, but down here, I measured that compared to the Epiphone. It's basically the same. So I guess maybe it's just my imagination that the neck is shaped a little different. Could be the curvature around here where the frets are on the top, maybe. It feels different, but sometimes, you know, you could go from one exact same airplane to the next one, and this one feels different or flies different. It's kind of in your head. It might feel a little different, but all the numbers are the same. So, okay. Looks like I'm lying to myself here on TV or on the YouTubes. So I guess they're about the same from what I can measure. I guess you'd have to do an actual radius gauge and find it. Okay, the other thing different in playing this, well, I better tighten up my screws too. The other difference in playing this one compared to that one is it seems like the sustain is a lot better. Sustains when you play a note, and you're like, oh, you know, you can go and have a bite and come back, oh, you still be hearing that one. So it seems like the sustain's better on this. And if you ever do any type of harmonics, like, I don't know if you can hear that. So that's like a harmonic there. This, I don't know if it's the setup between the cheaper one and this one. This has got great harmonics everywhere. You can go bing, 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 bing if you want to tune it or whatever. So it's pretty, it just seems like it's a little bit, one turn, boom. Yeah, so it just seems like the sustain is better. The setup is better for the harmonics and stuff. And also when you're playing this more expensive guitar, it seems like the whole instrument vibrates more. It's kind of like if you have I don't know, a part of the sound that you get on a violin or a sound that you get on an acoustic guitar is the resonance of the whole instrument shaking kind of thing. And I could actually feel that on the good one here. I don't know if I was imagining that too, but I don't know. It's it's in my head, so it must be real. So yeah, it's that was a little different, and just to feel that the whole thing just vibrating against your body when you're playing it. So that's kind of cool. And half turn, full turn. Yep. Okay, this is where I really got to pay attention. Half one. Okay. Yeah, because these little screws here right by the pickups, that actually that adjusts the height of the pickup, so that could change your sound. So I better pay attention on that one. Boom, one, and then I can start yakking to you guys. That's cool. Well, thanks for indulging me, guys, on just like I'm just doing chores here. I guess this is kind of like, when you go, your buddy's working on his car, and then you go over and you can tell everybody and say, oh, I went out and helped my buddy work on his car the other day, but really all you did was stand around and drink beer and watch. So that's what you guys can feel free to crack open the cold ones if you want and say you fixed up a guitar. That's fine. I'll give you full credit for it. Okay. Do not want to strip these guys here because that would really suck. Okay. One, two. All right. We are nice and snug as a bug in a rug, I believe. Oh, I didn't get that one. Okay. And I guess if these were still a little bit too loose, I'd probably hear it vibrating or something. Well, there we go. I think we got it mostly set up. Cool. I'll tune that tomorrow when I rock out. I don't rock out live here too much because it's like just there's something to do with my amplifier when and the microphone here does like an automatic sound adjustment. So if my amp is like just going super loud, it kind of it makes the sound all funny here on YouTube. But you got what you pay for, right? Okay, I'll just put this out of the way. Oh, look at that. There we go. Cardinal burst. So overall, I would say if you want to get one of these guys, see now. Oh, that was another thing I wanted to mention too. I wasn't gonna go out and buy like an expensive guitar right away when I kind of got back into playing guitar a couple of years ago, because I know that just because you go out and buy some expensive piece of hardware, it doesn't mean you're going to practice. So like I've seen that with people that when they learn how to fly, they go out and buy themselves the most expensive headset they can get, like it'd be like $1,200, $1,500 for a headset. And one guy, actually, I started teaching him a couple lessons. He went out and blew a bunch of money on a really expensive headset. And he said, well, I spent so much money on the headset, I got to learn how to fly now, right? Well, that was pretty much his last lesson. So you don't want to start investing too much money into something unless you know it's going to stick. So I figure if I've been playing my guitar consistently for a couple of years on a medium quality one, okay, chances are I'll keep playing. And so, and then of course, all guitar players too, they justify in their head spending way too much money on instruments too. So yeah, you can do like, there's girl math, but there's guitar math too. It's like, Well, I didn't buy underwear this year, so I can afford a new guitar. Yeah, there you go. If I don't buy socks next year, I can buy a more expensive guitar. Yeah, there we go. All right, I better put this away. Yeah, I'll put that on the floor. Okay. Yeah, but it's quite nice getting a new guitar. Very happy with it. It sounds great, plays great, rocks out really great. So quite happy with that. And now I got the plastic off. So there we go. That would have taken me. What are we into it here? Half an hour? I don't know. That would have taken me a few minutes there to do that, just on my own. But I got to do a show too, so that's cool. All right, so let's go through and we'll do a few little, check out a few chat thingamajigs here and see what's up. Make sure I see if we can answer any questions here. And as usual on the superpilotish channel, you can ask any questions about anything anytime you want. I don't care. That'll give me content. And I am the media now. We're all the media now. So let's collaborate and make some good media. So, okay. What do we got here? Okay. Shecky seems to think sounds more clean. And the Epiphone sounds muddy. Yeah, I would kind of agree with that. Oh, what's this? So Shecky was saying he hung out with Seth Lover, the humbucking pickup inventor. He was a really cool old tinkerer, thrift store buddy. Oh, wow, that's neat. Yeah, so humbucker pickup is okay. Like on those pickups there, those aren't humbucker pickups that they call it. It's kind of a 2-coil. Actually, I'll get the whiteboard out here to explain what that means. Okay. So usually on the guitar those are actually those little silver things. Those are pickups. Those are actually like little covers that are over the actual pickups, as they call them. So what that is, it's back to your old grade school science class. So what you have is kind of like you got a magnet here, and your strings go over the magnet. 2, 3, like that. So, and of course, this would be under that rectangular cover. So these are your guitar strings. When they vibrate, okay, they vibrate. The metal vibrates over the magnet, so that creates a little bit of current, right? So you remember how electricity is produced with magnets. Magnets, how do they work? I don't know, but yeah, and then so that's wired up to somewhere here, and then you got your volume knob, and then it goes out here to your big speaker. There we go, and then so it takes a little tiny voltage from your pickup, takes it to here. This little, your volume knob is a potentiometer, so that can change how much electricity is going through here into your amplifier. So it takes the frequency here, reads that, and then takes some makes the speaker move like a lot more like that. So it's kind of the way it works. And so if you have one like that, Fender guitars usually have one, and you can kind of hear a little bit of a bzz, like a hum. So this other guy that Shecky was talking about decided to put two together like this, and somehow that eliminates the hum, or it bucks the hum. So it's the humbucker is a double coil setup, and then you cover it with a cool looking nickel plate, and there you go. You got your Gibson pickup right there, something like that. Okay, little guitar lesson if you didn't know how guitars work. So yeah, here we go. And what do we got here? Yeah, all right, those look really nice. Thanks, Shecky. And oh, what's this? So Shecky learned bass on a Gibson EB3. The action was the best I ever felt. Okay, yeah, that's the action on it. It's kind of like how much it pushed down the string, depending on whatever frets you got. If you have a really high action, you got to push the string down a lot before it hits the fretboard. Low action, if you're playing some super metal stuff, you got it really close, so you just have to move it a little bit. Low action there. And and you can go down a whole rabbit hole of how you want to set up the action on your guitar and stuff like that. Okay, and here is the Gibson made of the harder wood. Okay, I'm not sure. I think. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, don't quote me on this. The wood is the same between the Epiphone and the Gibson. I think the wood of the body is the same. Forget what it is, maple, something like that. I forget. Don't quote me on it. But I'm pretty sure that there's a different type of wood on the fretboard. I think it's rosewood on the SG, or on the Gibson SG, and I think it's something else on the Epiphone SG. Yeah, I can't really tell. So my answer to that, Shecky, is I don't know. It just sounds better. Costs more, it sounds better. Okay. And I'm glad you congratulated me on my guitar math. Good choice. Thanks, Shecky. Okay. Maybe walnut. Yeah, it might be. I don't know. I didn't plan on researching all the ins and outs of the guitar. There's way better YouTube videos on the YouTubes that can get into the technical parts of it. I just figured I'd kind of take care of my chore today, and the safety dog came in and said, wow, so that's cool. Yeah, just figured I'd knock off a chore, talk a little about how we are all the media now. And I'm thinking about changing my profile here to like aviation journalist, aviation spokesperson, just kind of make up some cool title, because whatever, aviation expert. Yeah, I'm more of an expert than anyone that writes. Like Ashley, I'm sure Ashley J. DeMella that did the article today. I'm sure she's a very nice person, but she doesn't know anything about airplanes probably. And so, I'm guessing most reporters don't. So anyhow, all right. Shecky, you want to hear it? Okay. Well, you know what? It's not even tuned up or anything. You know what? It really wouldn't sound that good anyways, the way that my thing is set up here. You got to have, yeah, it would just be a big disappointment. So, but if I do ever figure that out when I get a chance, I'll fire it up at some point. But you really don't want to hear me play, man. So anyways, another time. Yep, there we go. Okay, so that's it for today. Today is Friday, not pizza day. Actually snuck in a pizza earlier this week, so probably have tacos tonight. And yeah, so I'll be back on Monday, because I do this Monday, Wednesday, Friday at noon Eastern. And we'll just kind of shut her down here. So you guys have a great weekend, and thank you for watching. Bye.